to make more revenue, and it's just not right.
They didn't do a really diligent job of doing the right thing for their company and following rules, regulations the way they should have been. They weren't diligent in the way they managed their business.
From BP side?
First, I'd like to begin by saying BP did not literally make the decision to say, okay, well, we're going to create this oil spill and just ruin the environment. That was...
I'm going to ask for the virtue argument.
Oh, okay.
No response. Sorry. I'm sorry.
What is to apologize?
What is the virtue argument that you?
The virtue argument is that BP. Now we are trying to do what's best and give meaningful life back to the environment. That yeah, we created the oil spill. It happened. What we're doing now is putting back into the environment, trying to be being loyal to the community by making sure there's funds to help out, putting the fishermen back to work, putting the unemployed people back into, giving them something, the opportunity, help clean up the oil spill, and
a lot of that is in response. Do you have an argument for the virtue that you see either the government not doing or that DEP was doing?
Well, I would say, as far as the government, MMS did not hold at their end of the bargain. They were not loyal to to the environment. When you think about the virtue ethics, they're supposed to look, you're doing things for the meaningful life, help human meaningful life. And I think the decision that MMS made to approve the oil spill when not doing a full investigation did not benefit us in that sense, was not on the virtue aspect, and was not loyal to what their regulations was and their own rules and regulations that they were holding BP to. They were not loyal to them as well. They were neither honest to their responsibility and their duties that they were expected to hold up to.
Now, you guys did not make utilitarian. Can you do that now?
Sure. From a utilitarian standpoint, and we kind of hit on it earlier, yes, although MMS didn't regulate BP probably as diligently as they could have or needed to, as it turns out, we still had a large area of responsibilities, and in the end, we did more good than harm. We did a lot of great things for other areas in the nation, and as a whole, we did our job well.
You guys didn't make the deontological argument. Could you make that now?
I guess you can talk about the duty because even like it was our job to dig the well and get the oil out of it, and even though there was an oil spill and other companies involved, we took the major responsibility of cleaning up and just getting the oil out of there. Whereas other companies didn't do anything; they were just sitting behind watching.
And the government have duties to uphold to the environment and rights as well. And I don't think the government upheld their duties. Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't get to rebut anymore. But now I'm going to open this up to everybody so that you guys can talk, all of you can, as well as this side. And I'd like to look at, this is where we are now, right? There's still oil out there. There's still people who are unemployed. There is still a mess that needs to be cleaned up. There's still a desire for oil companies to do more deep water drilling. Where should we go from here? What should happen based on what has already happened? Did you have a question or do you have a comment?
Well, I was going to comment. I know they earlier said that MMS plan was to burn the oil, and that is true. But at the same time, I know that plan was chosen because for their thing to save the oil, which was to create more revenue for them and save product, it would have taken much longer and caused much more harm to the environment, and that's a fact, and that's why the burning was the easiest way to go, because it was the quickest way to get the oil out of the water and everything. So from that standpoint, BP was still being greedy in the sense that they wanted to save the product. So
anyone?
Yes, anyone. Good.
How does
nicely, Craig.
How does burning oil in the water help the environment?
it gets the oil out of the water.
And then
Puts
the
it in the
air.
ozone.
Yeah. So it's
No,
like having cars just drive more and more.
It's a scientific fact that burning the oil created less of a problem for the environment as a whole. It's not going to go in the atmosphere and like destroy the Earth's atmosphere and everything, you know. So
To whom does BP have the primary responsibility?
Shareholders.
Shareholders. And what are they? They're in fact the owners of the company. What responsibility does BP have to owners of a company? So why is that connected to their decision? Your point is extremely well taken. However, what is BP's perspective? Why, greed is one way to look at it, the flip
Well,
side of it is to say,
I agree that because I'm a business major in finance and accounting, and the primary object of a company is to make money for the shareholders and everything. But once a mistake like this has been made, their priorities need to shift to the people, not to the shareholders. Because, I mean, at that point, once their oil was spilled, their stocks had dropped, everything had gone down, there was nothing they could do to save that. Like, it's done. And in a business, once something like that is done, you have to go forward. And the easiest way and the fastest way to move forward is to take care of the people and the solution and the problem, not to like try and make your money back right away. Because it will come back, but not immediately.
so we're here. We are already at this place. What happens going forward? MMS has already been dissolved and renamed and recreated. What else should happen?
Not again.
Not again.
Well,
No more
No cutting corners.
deep water things should be given, deep water permits?
one of the things that needs to be done, and the government is working on this, is unifying all these separate entities that are in charge of all these various areas and responsibilities, all these different bureaus. They all need to be on the same page and communicate well in order to not have oversights like what happened in this spill.